I had a boss who refused to let me take an unplanned vacation to see my grandma on her deathbed. I quit on the spot. It was strange because up until that incident, she was really cool and laid back. But when I asked for the weekend off to go visit my dying grandmother, she snapped and lectured me about how I needed to plan my vacation better. Excuse me, ma'am, but this is not a vacation. You and I have different terms of vacationing. If you think of vacation is saying goodbye to your grandmother who is dying. That is the complete opposite of a vacation. That's emotional stress. That is physical stress because you're probably crying and you're not sleeping. Like, where's the vacation in that? The vice president told me I was being disrespectful during a conversation. I asked how, and she told me that I knew what I was doing. I asked again, stating that I had asked because I didn't actually know, and was told she didn't have time for me because I know what you're doing and I don't have time for this. You're the vice president, not a 15-year-old angry at her boyfriend, edit vice president of our company. I hate when people do that, where they're like, oh, you're doing this. It's like, how am I doing that? I'm like, you know what you're doing. And it's like, you don't even know. You're just saying it. When I'm asking for an example, you can't give me one. So all you say is, oh, you know what you did, or you know what you're doing. No, I freaking don't. So enlighten me. I once worked at a discount sports store. Ooh, sportswear store. Oh, I want to go there. And my supervisor was an absolute beep. I was on the minimum wage with no overtime payment, and he wouldn't let me go home until 2 hours after finishing time because the coat hangers weren't fully extended. Pretty impossible when you're working on the children's wear department. Huh? Of course coat hangers aren't fully extended if it's for like children's wear. They're gonna be much smaller. Oh boy. That's honestly illegal, to be honest, to hold employees there after their shift and not pay them like overtime and stuff, but hey, what do I know? I've been off work with early pregnancy bleeding and told my boss why I'd be off. He replied with, you best not tell anyone yet, because it probably won't come to fruition. Huh? I was absolutely mortified. As it happens, it did. So whilst pregnant, he referred me to all the staff as the pregnant one. That's terrible. So she had early pregnancy bleeding and they said, don't tell anyone yet because you probably won't come to fruition. And then, I don't get it. That's just like mean for no reason. Like, that's just a terrible person. I don't know why you would say that to someone. That's just the emotional one, isn't it? What is up, everyone? I am Sassy. Today we're checking out some entitled most toxic freaking bosses that you would not want to work for. Have you ever had a nightmare of a boss? I'm curious. I really haven't. I had one supervisor at Tim Hortons that I greatly did not get along with. It was a mutual thing. We couldn't stand each other. That's about it. Other than that, I've had very positive experiences, and now I have the best boss ever. Facts, not even just saying it. I had a boss that made me work the weekend of my friend's wedding just to show me he was in charge. I was the best man. There was no reason for me to work. The rest of my team was off work, and I spent most of the weekend exploring the plant. Oh, you missed your best friend's wedding and you're a best man at their wedding? I would quit. Like, honestly, I would say, like, I don't know, I guess it's easier said than done because you also have bills to pay, but like, that's awful. Like, the one day, the most special day of someone's life, and you can't share that with them because you have to work and walk around the plant. Brutal. The one that insisted I was imagining things when I told him there was a gas leak, and who told me to just keep working when I later told him I was getting lightheaded. When it turned out the next day that there was a gas leak, I reported it since he wouldn't, and I confronted him about it. He told me that I should have just walked out on my job if I knew there was a problem. Or you could do your job, listen to your employees, and report a freaking gas leak, pal. That could have been way worse for everybody. I hate people, y'all. I worked for a small cafe doing a manager's amount of work while being paid minimum wage, and when I contracted pink eye from caring for my sister, my boss got mad at me. After that, I applied and was hired at Starbucks. His business fell apart without me there and closed within 4 months of me leaving. Absolutely it freaking did, because you were playing a manager but getting paid all. So of course, I'm not surprised. You know what? I got really screwed over on this game TV show here in Toronto. I was hired as one of the hosts for one of the segments. They illegally fired me, gave me no warning at all. It was this big thing, and guess what? The show went down the absolute and it does not exist anymore. Sucks to suck. You should be nice to people. The one who once said to me, the problem with women in the workplace is that they're moody. They talk too much and they're useless for 1 week out of the month because they're bleeding all over the place. Wow, they sound great. They didn't fire him for that, but he did get canned for waking up behind one of his employees who was sitting at the desk working and walking up and slapping him in the side of the head. People were too stunned to say anything, just stared. Boss figured out he goofed and walked away without a word. Took a few weeks, but once people finally got the courage to band together and report him, he was fired that day. Rightfully so. He sounds like a gentleman. I bet his mother's very proud. His mom also must be useless for 1 week out of the month because she's bleeding all over the place. Disgusting. Men, I'm kidding, not all men, but some, worked out of school and was the assistant manager. My manager constantly came into work high or hungover. She always talked about drinking in front of the kids, but wouldn't even let me mention the death of my best friend to anyone I worked with. She also hit on one of the workers daily who was in a 5-year relationship, and the janitor told me he caught her with him in the storage closet having sex. Yeah, great example. The janitor told me he caught her with him. So the janitor just admitted to having sex with one of your employees. That's what I got from it. This sounds like someone you don't want working anywhere near children. So probably for the best that she's out of there. In high school, I worked at a fast food joint for a while, and during our slow days, my manager would make me clock in and out. As soon as the person was done ordering, I'd have to clock back out or clean even when I wasn't on the clock. I walked out on them. Absolutely. Yeah, at first I was like, this is crazy. First of all, I'm not doing any work unless I'm being paid. That's crazy. And all the clocking in and clocking out, it's like, I'm here. Pay me hourly. I don't care if it's freaking slow. I get paid by the hour. This is my shift. And if I'm here, then you're paying me. You gotta be out your damn mind. The a-hole that waited until I drove 25 miles to work just to fire me in the parking lot and send me home without any warning I wasn't doing a good job. You really couldn't have told me the night prior before I came in the morning expecting to work, or you couldn't have pulled me aside a few weeks in and let me know I had to step it up. That's awful. It's so true. You could have called them. You could have told them. You could have said like a warning, you know, like you're not gonna be here much longer if you don't step it up. Like, give people notice. Ugh, unless they do something to deserve to be fired like the other people on our video, you know? Not naming names, but naming names. I've had a boss that forbid us to talk to anyone in the company that she didn't like or had some beef with. If we dared talk to them, she screamed at us so loudly that everyone in the building could hear. She was bat beep crazy. I mean, I don't think anyone should have control over who you talk to. If someone tells me that I can and cannot talk to someone, I'm probably going to do it regardless. Because you're annoying and you don't get to control who I talk to. I'm an adult, I'm a human, I make decisions for my frickin' self, lady. The first time I've met him, what have you done before? Studied, got a degree, did research at the university for 2 years. So effing nothing. Oh, as if. Just got a degree. Nothing. Honestly though, degrees feel like nothing these days. Honestly. I know so many of my friends who like have a university degree and did absolutely nothing with it. Because you go to apply for jobs and like, oh, sorry, you need a few years experience. It's like, how do I get experience though? If you won't hire me and no one, anyways. All right, those are some of the most entitled bosses ever. Let me know your horrible boss nightmare story. Today's sassy shout out goes to Terry Henriquez. They said, hey Josh, just curious how that pickle vodka was. All right, so I tried the pickle vodka, okay? I have a TikTok of it. All right guys, the time has come. I have the dill pickle vodka in my hands finally. I'm gonna do a sniff test before I try it. It smells like grass. Doesn't smell like pickles too much, but that's okay. Look at you, little martini. All right, you ready? Moment of truth. I've been talking about it for a long time now. Okay, count me in.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Tastes like black licorice more than anything.
It's not bad.
It's not good.
It's not that pickly. That's all right. We did it. It wasn't as great as I thought, to be honest. It didn't taste like dill pickle chips like I was hoping. It was more like dill the plant. So it kind of tasted like planty, if that makes sense. So it wasn't as good as I thought, sad times. All right, I'm getting out of here. Stay classy, stay sassy, and I hope you like your boss. Bye. All right, entitled bosses you don't want to work for. Look at this hair. A little crazy today. It's all right. You're welcome. 4. Did I just skip that one? Yeah. Hold on, a yawn is sneaking up. Yay. That was a really cute face I saw. 11, what time am I at? Got a yawn anyway, so that's good. Holy moly. I'm tired. The a-hole that waited until I drove front. Wow, can I speak? All right, well, I'm going to do sassy. What am I saying? Have you even subscribed to the channel yet? Don't be a fake fan. Hit that subscribe button. You know you want to.